Doug Walker. You're watching The Crazy House, Crazy McCormick.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the Crazy House. I am Crazy McCormick, as you may or may not already know. And it's, I mean, if you don't, now you know, and knowing is half the battle. The other half of it is red and blue lasers. So anyways, how's everybody's week going? So far, it had been a pretty okay, mediocre midweek since the last time I saw you. And apparently, the camera wants me to be red in the fucking face. Let's see if I can change that lighting up. Make this look a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Interesting week. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and I personally think that I just have to blame, I don't know, Mercury being in Gatorade due to the fact that there's been a lot of weird shit that's happened this week. And to top it off, like, oh my god, hey, Spamly in the house. Fucking dude, it's been a weird fucking week in terms of people. And and the reason why I say that is because, like, beefs have been fucking flying. Weird shit has been happening. throughout the week, and more than just the fucking Tesla fires that I was talking about last week. So I was hoping, by the way, that there was going to be something worth a fuck to fucking talk about, and that this week was going to be a little bit lazy. And I think I got humbled with how I do this fucking show, just due to the fact that a vast majority of the time that I fucking grab stuff for my episodes of the Crazy House, it's usually fucking like a couple mere hours before I start my podcast. And so as I start to do the shit, I fucking do what I usually do. I go on fucking Fago Lovers. Guess who doesn't have their fucking website up? What's going on, Scotty? Did you not pay the fucking annual bill for the website? Is OK Daddy okay? You know, like, is GoDaddy okay? I don't know what server company they go through, but for some fucking reason, I go on Fago Lovers and it's shut down. What the fuck is going on? I have no goddamn clue. And on top of that, like, what's up with this? What? Okay, there we go. That's much better. There we go. For some reason, the fucking bars on the top and bottom were showing on my VLC. There you go. Spoiler alert, I use VLC for my show. And Dragon Slayer is correct. Vote for Crazy. God damn it. So far, by the way, I took a look at the Replicon Award thing, and I have now 3 votes on the shit. I don't know how else other than the YouTube video to vote for that, other than to go on Facebook. So I went to Facebook. I went to Replicon's Facebook page. Nobody's voting for a goddamn thing. I did see that, but I did see that. Brandon Buckingham, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know who the fuck that is. And wonderful, wonderful that yet another fucking gathering video ended up getting dropped. So, what, in preparation for the gathering 2025, we have to wait like 8-9 months for another fucking gathering video to once again flood the feed so that way nobody can get videos of motherfuckers picking up poop dollars and shit like that. Okay, he's a YouTuber, did a song with Clockwork E. Yeah, but like, dude, like every year there's at least 5 fucking videos about the gathering of the Juggalos, and when you search Juggalo to try to look for Juggalo shit, that's all you see. The 2023 gathering of the Juggalos, unique, introspective footage, or exclusive footage, or Humble Among talking about himself for 4 fucking hours. Something to that effect. It's like, I want to try to find something that's Juggalo related with, I guess, substance. But like, I've never heard of this dude. I think I've seen him before, maybe looming around the gathering grounds the last few times that I've been. But still, it's like, normally I fucking jack my fucking news off of Fago Lovers, and then it's like, I'm not discovering news. I'm just talking about the news and my opinion of it. That's the whole concept of this fucking show, is I find news thanks to the hard work of Scotty D, and then my hard work includes fucking talking shit or praising it, one of the two. So I guess I had to scramble for the last few hours trying to find whatever it was that I could find. So here's to the hopes that I might have a pretty mid show. By the way, this is that Blackberry Dr. Pepper boy. And if you like Dr. Pepper, then there's no other fucking pop that's available. But then, whatever. And the reason why I don't drink Fago on my shows is because, well, they're not advertising me. They're not sponsoring me. That's another thing that I saw real quick, and it was basically like, Fago does not sponsor or advertise Insane Clown Posse. And I said, when I saw that shit, I was like, okay, somebody would probably be like, why isn't that news? And my response to that is because it's a fucking secret to everybody. Everybody who's anybody in this Juggalo community knows that shit. By the way, here's Odorous Orungus for no fucking reason. Mug root beer. I think the foam goes straight to your brain. That's what I think about mug root beer. You know what I miss? Hires root beer. That root beer had been around for 100 years, and then they fucking dropped the ball. And then Barks was a fucking thing. Personally, I like Barks more than I like Mug because at least Barks has fucking caffeine in it. You know, if caffeine's gonna be my fucking drug of choice, and I don't want to drink old Coke, it's gonna be Barks root beer. By the way, this tastes like fucking Robitussin. The aftertaste of blackberry Dr. Pepper tastes like fucking cough syrup. So anybody who likes to put lean in their fucking pop, I think they already did it in this Dr. Pepper. Okay, so there is a couple of things that I did see on the news head. And one of them was the fact that TR Diaz came out with a new album. Now I don't normally follow TR Diaz, but it does have this list right here of all of the people that he has added on to the fucking, the feature list, the music production, and that's actually pretty cool. And from what I'm to understand, it seems that Homeboy is being very accepted by the fucking Juggalo community. And see, like this album cover right here, this is basically in a way like this is classic hip hop shit from what I'm seeing right here. The fucking Riz, like the amount of charisma that the man has, the self confidence, and I have to say that when it concerns the hip hop community, and I learned this when I first entered it and then exited it in 2005, is the fact I can't zoom in. I don't have zoomies. This is basically the flyer that I picked up. Remember, Swills, this was a rush job. So don't expect any perfection out of me, you know what I'm saying? It's all pics of him performing. Oh, is it? Okay. That's I wasn't sure what to expect of that. I mean, in a way it kind of almost looked like shrink wrap. But like just seeing him sitting on the throne and stuff like that, like here's dope. Oh, dude, you're gonna fucking troll him, aren't you? This is gonna be fun to watch. Yeah, so everybody who's in here, make sure to check that out. According to what Swills is saying, Tierra is gonna be on his show, Swills Edition, um, this coming Tuesday. So 48 hours from now, Tierra Diaz will be getting the shit from Swill and Wrath of God. Maybe. But taking a look at all of these features that are on here, DMX, which is interesting though. ICP, that's fucking dope. Royce to 5'9", DJ Clay, King Gordy, Sophie Maroney, Chloe, Kiadi, blah, I can't read. Zetro, Aunt G, and Romy Schuyler. With music production, according to this, Mike P, like as in Mike Peasy Weezy for Sheezy, Mike Pual, Shaggy the Airhead, Johnny Slash, KG Gold, J-Set, and more. Dude, like some of these features, it's pretty fucking dope, and it's obvious that it's available on all musical fronts: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. I've never heard of Tidal, but sure, and YouTube Music. So I have not given Tier Diaz a whole lot of fucking attention because usually I like to listen to a lot of fucking Japanese girls. So I don't know. It might have to be a time for me to step out of the bounds of Japanese girls doing screamo and fucking Russian Vikings in order for me to give Tier Diaz a shot. Bless me with a sight of a satellite. Oh, goddamn Chronic. Quit fucking quoting music out of context. Speaking of out of context, I don't know if you guys remember the shit that happened at last year's Lights Out, where somebody got their ass beat because of something he claimed was out of context. Well, now Lights Out 7 is coming up. Lights Out is going to be on the 30th of August. I'll have to remind everybody in June of this, but this is the official flyer for Lights Out 7. Monstar Entertainment presents, and it's going to have everybody that's on Monstar's label. along with a few people from fucking LSP. So take a look at this fucking yeah, exactly. Light, Jaron Benton, Buckshot, Kung Fu Vampire, which is dope. Um oh, that's Alazuli Lu, isn't it? Yeah, that's Zool. MMFFD, Dayton Family, and Project Born, along with the homies Wicked Wood. Finally, Gravy and Zach are stepping out. Yeah, also crazy, by the way. Zach, Zach Graves is fucking known as Crazy. I think that's how he and I ended up becoming friends because we met at the like me and Crazy from Wicked Wood ended up fucking meeting at the March, and he was there. I didn't see Grady, but but him and Gravebait, I've I've become friends with those guys outside of the music and shit. And fuck it, dude. Like I've actually been plugging Wicked Wood. Those not only are those dudes the homies, but I'm glad to see that they are sticking their head out the fucking doorway to come out and do us some shit. Our inner circle, Meat Hammer. Now, if there's not a name of like that just commands fucking big cock energy, it's Meat Hammer. And the last one being Trilogy. So once again, this is going to be at the Crowfoot, and doors are going to be open at 5 p.m. $30 pre-sale. Let's see, yeah, $30 pre-sale, 35 at the door. And I'm pretty sure that if anybody wants to beat the shit out of Project Born's fucking manager slash, fucking, I don't know, his valet, their valet.
By the way, I just want to say, fuck Crazy McCormick.
Speaking of the devil,
whack as fuck.
Justin Kemple with that 199 doing the super whoop whoop. All right, everybody, thumb up that motherfucker, Justin Kemple. Thank you for the fucking shit. Yeah, I know, like Swills. $35 is totally fucking breaking the bank. It's not like anybody that's going to the gathering of the Juggalos that's paying $300. Now that does remind me of something where I saw a couple of people on Twitter the over the week. Yeah, Project Born's DoorDash handler. Yeah, and they have to order extra food because they know that if they don't, then they're not going to get their full meal. They have to order at least the second half of the fucking menu in order for them to get the food that they actually want. Or they'll put a fucking pizza slice on a fucking fish hook and... But anyways, yeah, so like that motherfucker, yeah, I'm pretty sure like if he's there, chances are pretty good he could get his fucking ass beat because he doesn't know how to shut his fucking mouth. Which I think is very funny. Like twice he's gotten his fucking ass beat at a show, and twice he's fucking tried to gaslight himself into believing that it never happened, or that it didn't happen in the fashion that people fucking say, even when they show the footage of it in front of his face. Nevertheless, though, it's very hard to fucking outshine a lights out event, especially with all of these type of names. But if that dude can figure out a way on how to make it all about himself, he will. But the lineup for this, nevertheless, I'd fuck with this. I mean, Oh yeah, he got beat down. He got fucking beat down. Fucking like just meaty fisticuffs all across the back of his fucking head. It was hilarious. But yeah, taking a look at some of these people that are taking a look at some of the acts that are on here, I'd be down to fucking do that. Go to Pontiac. I have no problem with going to Pontiac. So, it's only a couple hour drive away. I would love to fucking go to Lights Out. I mean, Light, I love Light. Kung Fu Vampire, that dude definitely fucking rizzed the fuck up. Zool, Dayton Family, Project Born, and fuck it, Wicked Wood. Yeah, exactly. He was talking about someone's kids. And like I said, like this whole fucking week has been nothing but drama. So I think that that's what this whole episode is probably going to end up being about. It's just a bunch of different fucking dramas in our Juggalo community. Outside of the Juggalo community, it's going to be fucking interesting. And this is one of those ones that has some drama going on because Homeboy does not know how to shut the fuck up. On another note, here's Otis Orongas for no reason. I saw this on Facebook and I thought it'd be funny to add this. Moving along with the other news. So ICP surprisingly ended up fucking going on the interwebs and decided that they're going to have a mini tour. Excuse me while I fucking try to slow down my nicotine fit. So I guess this is the Insane Clown Posse on tour, and because there's no fucking name for it. That's basically all that it is. It's just the Insane Clown Posse tour, and it starts in May. Yeah, I was actually trying to look for something else before, I guess before I get into this, I'll talk about this. There was one thing that I was trying to look for, because apparently there was another fucking pop-up of Violent J talking about how there's going to be an album announced or released at the Gathering of the Juggalos, and apparently he forgot that he already fucking said something about it twice already, if not 3 times maybe. One of those times he ended up saying that it was going to be the 6th, and then he ended up, after that, the other 2 times that he said something about it, it was just like an album announcement at the Gathering of the Juggalos. Okay, leave it on the notes, and then talk about it on the notes later. Yeah, dementia. It's all the fucking ketamine. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's Violent J or if it's Ketamine J fucking talking about the new one, because like Violent, it's either that or it's like all of those different alter egos just fucking hack into Violent J's Instagram account, and so like, okay, it's never Violent J, it's never Joe Bruce, it's like Stinky Twicklepuss or whatever the fuck, then Diamond Donovan Douglas comes in, by the way, fucking Bullet comes in, Violent Ed, Velvet J, Ketamine J. You ever sucked a dick and released an album at the Gathering of the Juggalos? Well, it's coming. So it's like that type of shit. But it's either that or it's, yeah, you're right. It might just be the fact that he keeps forgetting. I mean, Jay's got a lot going on, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so here's the list of the places that are going to be up on here. Now, this is the original fucking flyer. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you see this, but there's Hatchetmen all over the fucking flyer too, and they're pretty hard to see. It's not as hard to see as all the fucking pictures that were on the Tierra Diaz album cover, but still, you never know. Yeah, that's basically what it was. It was the triplex. One day at a time, Chronic. They ended up fucking doing that. They ended up fucking going on Violent J's fucking Twitter or his fucking Instagram. So yeah, so this is only like a week. What is this? Only 2 weeks long? This is a 2-week long thing. Now this isn't the farewell tour. I don't believe that this would be the farewell tour. They said that they were gonna do a farewell tour, like so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, massive fucking tour that was gonna be all across the fucking country. And then after that, they were gonna do it in Canada, the UK, and Australia, and the first one was going to be this. But this cannot be the big massive fucking so long farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye farewell tour that ICP is fucking doing. But yeah, so for 2 weeks, because like take a look at some of the places, like they aren't going to California, and they aren't going to any major cities. They're not going anywhere in the mountains. Like, I mean, like the Rocky Mountains, the Appalachians, on the other hand, they're sticking around in that little fucking corner, the eastern side, the eastern and Midwest area of the United States. Yeah, they're not ready to farewell just yet. So this is basically the Insane Clown Posse on tour. So they're starting it off in Cleveland, Ohio, which I'm pretty sure is going to make some Silver Booth boys happy, on the 12th at the Agora Theater. After that, the next day is in Newport, Kentucky at the Megacorp Pavilion. On the 14th, they're going from Kentucky down to Atlanta, GA. So they're going to Hot Atlanta at the Masquerade. Okay, so that's a major city. On the 16th, Mobile, Alabama at the Soul Kitchen. And I know somebody that lives in that nearby Mobile, Alabama. I went out with her at the for a short period of time at DCG Con, which made my fucking weekend. Let's see. After that, the 17th, Dothan, Alabama at the Plant. Then they go from that to Daytona, Florida at Welcome to Rockville on the 18th. Then they have a day off, and then on the 20th, they go to Spartanburg, South Carolina at the Hall. The 21st is Charlotte, North Carolina at the Fillmore. Woo! Charlotte, North Carolina, home of the 16-time world champion Rick Woo Flair. All right, after that, they have another day off on the 23rd of May, Cheswick, Pennsylvania at the Mountain View Amphitheater. The 24th, the next day, Reading, Pennsylvania. I think that's pronounced correctly because I doubt it's Reading, Pennsylvania. At Reverb, and then they're closing it out in Liverpool, New York, at Sharky's on the 25th, which is interesting to me. Why go to Liverpool, New York? Like you're going to a completely out of the place fucking town in New York. Like go to New York City, not somewhere near Buffalo. Like you're much closer to Buffalo, New York than you are New York City. Now I know that New York City is a big state and everything, but a vast majority of the people who fucking have voters registration live in New York City. That's where more people are. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying, you can close out the garden, but still, I would probably want to have you guys fucking do something at Hammerstein or something. Because they have done it before. But, these guys are most known not to do gigantic fucking places. Like, if they were to do something here in Grand Rapids, it would probably be at the intersection where it's like, I think you can fit like 4,000 people in the intersection. I would say the Orbit Room, but they just recently fucking tore that place down. 20 Monroe Live is too fucking uppity. I've seen Tech 9 there. Not to mention that place is just too fucking expensive to go to. So I'm pretty sure that maybe because of how badly they're raping the juggalos for gathering prices and all of the other shit that I talked about last week, I'm pretty sure that this is probably just a cushion. We want to see you at the fam. Yeah, the Deltaplex is another spot too, but I have not seen anything happen at the Deltaplex in a couple of years. Like, the only thing that I've really seen that actually has happened at the Deltaplex was probably the Shriners Circus. And that's it. But apparently they also added a new show. This was just recently added. So on the 23rd, I guess, was that one of the days off? Okay, so I guess, yeah. They said that it was added at the Mountain View Amphitheater, Friday, May 23rd. It's the same fucking place. So what the fuck am I doing? And apparently all the tickets are available at etix.com. As for the Deltaplex, I doubt that it would. I don't know. I don't know who owns that. I don't know why it's still up if nobody's fucking using it. I don't know. Maybe they're just using it for flea markets or something like that, or some sort of a bazaar. I don't know. I never see cars there, like, ever. They used to have very dope fucking spots there. Like, they used to do Bass Necker there for Halloween every year. I guess until Bass Necker was accused of being racist because he's a white dude who does fucking EDM, and so he fucking hung it up. But I find that interesting. So this is the last piece of Juggalo news. And I don't even know if you could really consider this news, but it does kind of fall into some of the other shit that I was talking about before. Beefs and such. And insanity, because the world is fucked at this point, I think. I saw this on Twitter, and so I guess this answered my question when all of the fucking Tesla riots were starting to go off. the one thing that popped into my head was, I know Ouija Mac has a fucking Tesla, so is he gonna fucking burn it in effigy, or is he gonna do the smart shit and fucking keep it? And it turns out that he's gonna fucking keep it. And the reason why I said that that would be the smart shit amongst the majority idiots in the fucking that vote Democrat, this is probably the smartest thing to fucking do. Not try to set your own fucking car on fire or other liberal cars on fire. Because thinking about it logically, a vast majority, like 4 years ago, these fucking nutty vegan eating cocksuckers all tried to gaslight the fucking meat eating Republicans that if you didn't buy a Tesla, then you didn't give a shit about the environment. And it's like, okay, by the way, side note, no matter what, your carbon footprint is going to destroy the fucking Earth's atmosphere regardless as to whether or not you buy a fucking Tesla. Because if you buy a gas vehicle, you're using dinosaur juice, all right, to try to power a combustion engine. If you buy a Tesla, then you have to use diesel engine powered fucking cranes and stuff in order to mine lithium for the batteries that you're going to be using to make these cars and sell them en masse. Okay, so either way, and that's probably even more harmful for the environment rather than drill baby drill. Nevertheless, they tried to gaslight us and manipulate us into buying Teslas, saying that if we didn't, then we didn't care about the environment. Now they're setting fire to lithium battery powered fucking combustion engine vehicles. And they're also defacing public property, basically being fucking domestic terrorists. And that was what made me think, what's Ouija going to do? Because I knew he drove a Tesla. Instead, I guess he decided to camo wrap his fucking Tesla and keep it. And that's probably the smartest, logical fucking solution that anybody with a Tesla that voted for Miss Calamity fucking word salad, Harry Sisson's fucking sugar mommy, you know, with no plan whatsoever and can't stumble over her own fucking tongue and needs a fucking drink of wine every 5 seconds, coming to every goddamn fucking Q&A sloshed the fuck out, and you could tell. You know, what they fucking do to all of the Tesla shit. And the funny thing is they're also trying to gaslight us again by saying, how do you know it's all liberals? Because 4 years ago, you were all saying that we had to fucking buy Teslas to save the environment because, you know, your former daddy Elon said so. I met in the middle and I bought a fucking Prius, okay? I have gas-powered combustion engine mixed with a little bit of electricity, and I'm fine with that. I find that to be the best opportunity of, you know, it's the best of both worlds. Okay? And I can actually get I can get as many fucking miles, if not more miles, on the car I have now than I had with the Dodge Intrepid that I was driving before it, and I also saved $10 on gas. Now, this is why I say that I feel like what his decision was to be the best option. Because you already bought it. Elon's already got your fucking money. There's no point in trying to sell your fucking Tesla in effigy or set it on fire in protest or setting other liberals' cars on fire in protest to what, you know, your former daddy Elon. Well, actually, I'd still say he's your fucking daddy because at least he's got a good head on his shoulders. But this is the wisest decision. Now, I remember about, I want to say maybe 15 years ago, I was working at a fucking a cash store. You know, like those places where you like can get cash advances. So I used to work at a cash advance place. And there was this one lady who was incredibly fucking vegetarian or vegan or something like that. But she had on a leather jacket. Her purse was made out of pure leather. Her fucking her fucking little coin purse wallet thing also made out of leather. All authentic leather. So eventually I ended up asking her, is all of that real? Is that all real leather? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, I thought you were like vegan and shit. Like, why are you wearing that if you're still fucking, if you're all about the animals? Because like I asked the question because I saw the check that she gave me, and it was like very pro PETA, whatever. And fucking like I was confused because I look at the check and I look at her wearing the leather jacket. I look at the check again and I was like, aren't you vegan? Like, this is weird that you're very pro PETA. And you're wearing an actual leather jacket. Aren't you worried about fucking somebody throwing red paint on you or something like fur is murder? Kind of shit like that. And she goes, no. And I was like, what encourages you to wear a leather jacket while also supporting PETA? She said, I bought the jacket and the purse and this wallet before I decided to go vegetarian or vegan or whatever the fuck. And before I started going with, before I started being pro PETA. So why wouldn't I continue to wear something that I already bought? And I was like, well, damn, that makes a lot of sense to me. So in this sense, it's the same fucking argument where it's like he bought the Tesla because he wants, in his mind, it's going to reduce carbon emissions. It's going to be healthier for the fucking planet, which is also why he eats fucking, tofu, bacon, turkey bacon, fucking, it's fake food, by the way, like genetically homogenized fucking food that is supposed to taste like real food but isn't real food, whatever the fuck. Yeah, I wonder if he has to take a stepladder to get inside the car. And I saw this and I was just like, take a step up and do like a fucking skin wrap of John Cena on top of the car. That way they can't see you. Nobody can see you. Just for added measure, I feel like that would be important for that kind of shit. As opposed to like everybody else, this shit is still fucking going on. This is your average fucking liberal, by the way. Now the funny thing is I saw some other fucking videos like on TikTok and shit, which I did not save, and this is going into the realm of TikTok. Because I go on TikTok a lot. Now I find it funny because like the first person who started this shit, trying to like key cars and stuff like that, trying to key these Teslas and painting over them and setting them on fire, which I believe is still going on. And one or two people, by the way, from what I'm to understand, one or two people have already been investigated and they've already been arrested and they're gonna spend some time in fucking prison. Like technically, because of the fact that this is not an isolated event, this is actually happening all across the nation at different used car lots and different other places and shit like that. This can be considered domestic terrorism. And these people think that what they're doing is heroic because they're fighting fascism with fascism. What you're doing, if you even think about doing this type of shit, you are a fascist, and you really need to Google what that means. As a matter of fact, I've done it before. We're going to go to the University of Google here, and I'm going to look up the definition of a fascist. Okay. Okay, we're going to Webster's Dictionary. Now this is the often definition of a fascist: a populist political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts nations and often race above the individual, that is associated with a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leadership, and that is characterized by severe economic and social regimen and by forcible suppression of opposition. Now, the funny thing about this is, like, they try to say that, fucking Donald Trump is dictatorial and all this other stuff, and it's like, not really. He's just doing what everybody said that they wanted to do for the longest fucking time. Like, for the longest fucking time, Donald Trump, like, It's not even Donald Trump. I've seen videos that have pointed out the fact that Obama has said this shit. Okay, that we need to get the minorities, the illegal minorities out of our fucking country. We need to fucking let's see. Yeah, so it like Obama basically said that we need to get the illegals out of here. Hillary Clinton said the same thing, but and I believe also fucking Joe Biden had said the same thing. And these are these are three people who did absolutely fucking nothing, and two of them were presidents who did absolutely fucking nothing to fix the issue that they were fucking talking about. Trump does it. Oh, he's a racist, bigoted, fucking homophobic, xenophobic, transphobic, sexaholic, fucking rapist, racist, fucking allegation, rabble, 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 which is why I make fun of this stuff on Facebook all the time. I love doing quizzical things that fucking keep people confused about what my political side is on Facebook. Just so that way they, whatever it is that they're fucking looking for, they'll see it in my shit, or they'll see the opposite of it. And then you've got a small smattering of people that just don't care and they'll roll with the punches, which is the vast majority of what I got when I ended up saying something about posting a generic political response. But this type of shit is proof right here where it's like, okay, look, if you are going out of your way to look for Nazi shit, you are going to find Nazi shit in the stupidest fucking form. And this is one of them. Okay, so it goes back to January when Trump was inaugurated, and you see Elon Musk stimming the fuck out and trying to do what everybody else is doing, but when somebody who has Asperger's or is autistic fucking sees that shit, they're a little bit stiff. And there's been a lot of people who have put their hands on their heart and put their hands out and said that their heart goes out to them and shit like that. So he did it a little stiff. And he also did it to the side. And apparently it's like it doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, well, what if they have the strong hand and they try to do it? Then they're not a Nazi. But if they're able to perfectly put their fucking hand up at a 45-degree angle, how do you know that the strong hand, like doing this, wasn't Nazi shit? Okay? Like, think about that shit. How do you know it's also on the fucking correct hand? How much information did you look up about fucking Nazism and the manners that they fucking had before you could actually determine? I wouldn't know. I don't care. I'm just looking for a little bit of consistency here with this type of shit. But apparently this stuff is still going on because of some misinformation that people have fucking made. And personally, I think once again, the legacy media is putting shit out there, being a little bit quizzical, breadcrumbing the fucking liberal parties in order to get them to fucking do this shit. And the ironic thing about this shit that people fucking talk about is like, okay, they talk about how Trump is such a horrible fucking person. And if you support Trump, then you're such a terrible fucking person. Okay? You're a fascist. You're trying to start some shit. Meanwhile, these people fucking set buildings on fire, cars on fire, in protest to whatever the fuck it is that they're trying to protest. Remember, all cops are bastards? Remember ACAB? Setting cars on fire, looting, looting shit, and fucking tearing down small businesses and setting shit on fire, defacing property. There might have been a possible rape or two during all of the fucking shit. And a lot of those people, especially in my city, got fucking arrested for the shit. Like, downtown shit got fucking crazy. All because they wanted to do the whole ACAB thing, which I don't believe all cops are bastards, but I do believe that corruption runs thick in the government. That's why I was supporting Drain the Swamp, and I still do. Even to this day, I support draining the fucking swamp because I want to see who fucking cracks under the pressure. And guess what? Pocahontas did, because she got caught up on some shit, and she hasn't really said much since. Then there was that whole thing where they were going to do the government shutdown. I guess it was, I don't know if it was this past week or the week before, but there was supposed to be a government shutdown, and the Senate and the House ended up putting, one of those two ended up putting a vote to it. Chuck Schumer, who's supposed to be like the fucking figurehead of the Senate, he decides that he's going to try to fucking encourage people to vote to shut down the government just to spite Trump. And then it turns out he voted against the government shutdown. The same thing with Tom Fetterman, who said that it was a bad idea to shut down the fucking government, and he voted in favor of it. Like, these fucking Democrats say one thing and then they do another. Okay? They say, oh yeah, Trump's a fucking fascist, but I want you to show how not fascist you are by fucking destroying public property and being a domestic terrorist. Key people's fucking Teslas. I mean, don't get me wrong. I personally think that the Cybertruck looks like shit. Although I will say that just because it does create liberal tears, in fact, I'm sure it fucking runs on liberal tears now, it almost makes me want to get a used Tesla Cybertruck just to spite the fucking people. And I said something kind of like that on Facebook, where I ended up saying, well, thank you, I try to be. I mean, I would just do this in massive protest against the liberals. Fuck around and find out. Now, I was gonna make a TikTok video about why what they're doing is fucking wrong, but I'm pretty sure it would just go over anybody's fucking head that isn't sensical. Okay? Let's talk about this, okay? You're destroying somebody's vehicle, okay? For one, like I said before, a vast majority of the people who bought Teslas in the first place are fucking liberals. All right? Conservatives, on the other hand, they were very skeptical of this shit because it's a fucking battery-powered car. It takes forever to fucking charge, especially if you're doing it at home. And, it's all electronics. It's all electrical, so something could possibly go wrong. How many times have I had an episode of The Crazy House where something got fucked up? There's a vast majority of times where shit has gotten fucked up on my Twitch channel, just trying to stream a goddamn video game. Okay, so I'm very, 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 very fucking skeptical of having a fully fucking electric vehicle, because anything could go fucking wrong. All right, somehow water could get put into the lithium battery and the back of my car fucking explodes spontaneously. Because if you know your science, lithium and water don't necessarily fucking mix very well. And secondly, okay, oh yeah, so back to my point. A vast majority of the people who bought older Tesla vehicles and a lot of the Cybertrucks are fucking liberal people. Okay, so you're basically eating your own. You're fucking destroying the private property of people on your side. So that makes it so it's like, okay, all of this Tesla shit that's fucking going on, these people destroying private property, destroying fucking dealerships and all this other dumb shit. Gee, I wonder if that's going to change their political affiliation. So in a way, what you're doing is you're helping your enemy. You're helping the Republican Party. Okay? There has already been enough bad shit that has happened in fucking politics that has actually caused people to go from liberal to independent or just straight outright MAGA. And you know what happens when those people go from being liberal to MAGA? MAGA actually accepts these people with open fucking arms, despite, regardless, I should say, of their race, color, creed, sexual orientation, gender. It doesn't fucking matter. To the MAGA people, I have seen videos I have seen lives and videos during Trump's campaigns where people have been skeptical and scared about about going to MAGA parties, being a former liberal, because of the things that they heard. Oh, they won't accept you because you're black. They won't accept you because you're Mexican or some other minority, or they won't accept you because you're gay or trans. You know, if you're a man that identifies as a fucking woman, they're not going to accept you because of this, that, and the other. And guess what? Every single one of those fucking things I have personally seen being accepted by the MAGA people. Not to mention, these people assume that if you just claim that you don't hate Trump and the Republicans, that somehow makes you racist. Yeah, if you're just like, I don't have a fucking opinion of them. If you like, even if you stay down the middle to a liberal, you're MAGA. Okay, so like setting cars on fire and keying them and destroying their fucking property, they know that it's liberals that are fucking doing this shit. So they're gonna know that, well, I know that people in MAGA don't fucking do this shit, so let's go. Fucking Trump train, baby. I've already lost a few friends already just because I said I didn't hate Trump or Elon and told them what they know about them is lies. And you were you were speaking your truth. And my personal view is that if people fucking do that shit, they weren't your friend to begin with. They were only tight with you because of your political affiliation. And guess what? I've noticed that is a major thing when it concerns MAGA people versus these libtards. If you're MAGA and you have a friend who is liberal, you're fine with that. It's like, we may agree to disagree, but we really like to play Fortnite together, right? A liberal, on the other hand, would be like, well, gee, I've known you for 25 years. I never knew that you were a sexist, racist, fucking homophobic, xenophobic, transphobic piece of shit. All this time, I thought I knew you, dude. So, but like I said, that's one thing. Setting your liberal friend's car on fire and keying it and spray painting it and all this other stuff is going to cause your liberal friend to be like, well, I don't see, it's going to wake them up. If the fire doesn't drive them crazy, it's going to wake them up and it's going to make them realize, well, the people on the MAGA side have never done anything like this. Sure, they did Jan 6, but, we didn't peacefully protest in fucking Minnesota by looting a goddamn Target. We haven't destroyed California. The MAGA people didn't destroy California completely. Like they weren't setting, I don't see MAGA people setting cars on fire. MAGA people didn't fucking take over a small part of Seattle, Washington and try to rename it CHOP. That's all you libtards. Secondly, this is another issue that I have. When you do this type of shit, when you set somebody's car on fire, motherfucker, this is a $100,000 vehicle. Are you retarded in thinking that the people who buy these cars don't have them fully insured? Think about that. Whatever fucking happens to that vehicle, they can get fixed by their insurance company. I would never fucking want to buy a Tesla Cybertruck and try to get PLPD on it. And besides, in the state of Michigan, while you are paying off a vehicle, you have to have that car fully insured. So when you set a car on fire or you key the son of a bitch or you paint over it, insurance is going to kick in. They're going to see the problem. They're going to assess the fucking shit. And they're going to get a whole ass new car. Not to mention, considering this is now, number 3, an act of domestic terrorism, the insurance companies are going to have no choice but to replace a whole ass car. $100,000 vehicle. They have to fully fucking replace. You know what that does? That drives up insurance rates for everybody. So, are you helping? Are you helping society? And when we already had issues with paying shit like eggs, because these people seem to not have a problem with not letting the egg prices fucking go. So like, do you think that's helpful? Hiking up the insurance rates of vehicles by setting a Tesla on fire. Make it make sense, okay? Because you're not thinking logically. Like you're thinking illogically, and it makes absolutely no sense, any of this shit. And number 3, like I said before, domestic terrorism. This is probably going to be the one that I feel like a lot of these idiots are just going to bypass because they think that they can get away with this type of stuff. No, here's the thing. I have seen protests towards Elon Musk in different countries, like the one we talked about last week with the lady that dumped the lady and her husband dumping that orange shit on top of the fucking Tesla robot. They stayed there to protest and talked about why they were protesting before the cops came and arrested them. I've seen Canadians that have fucking defaced an entire fucking Tesla building, and they stayed there to protest. Americans, on the other hand, they set shit on fire and run away and hide. Like, when we fucking protest shit, we're fucking pussies. But those people I can actually give some respect for, because they actually knew what they were getting into. They knew that they were going to fucking get arrested, and they stayed there. If anything, they avoided evading the police, and that probably will give them a lesser charge. Yeah, the Tesla Nazi thing. Now, us, on the other hand, we as Americans, we set our shit on fire and then we fucking scamper off into the night, not realizing that these Tesla cars have cameras that go all around them. Why? Because these cars are self-driving cars. And they have to have the cameras around them in order to assess what their surroundings are, right? And guess what? They're on all the fucking time. Yeah. Oh, swill. I'll get into that in a few minutes. So, to me, I find this to be incredibly fucking hilarious and sad. Like, the stupidity of the Liberal Party is fucking astonishing and hilarious to me. It sucks what they're fucking doing. And yeah, that's another thing. Swill, now that you made mention of that. Well, see, here's the thing. These people say these things so fucking often, calling people Nazi or a fascist, whenever they get the chance to, just because you don't agree with them, right? So my fucking thing about this is that, have you not realized that have these people not realized that they have said these things about people so fucking much that it's completely diluted the entire meaning of what they're even talking about? Yes, exactly. It loses value. Paul Mooney used to say the thing about the fucking N-word all the fucking time. He said that he wanted to say it so fucking much that it just lost its fucking meaning and made it so anybody could fucking say it. Unless you're Humble Among on Twitter. Like, to me, and the funny thing, though, is that it didn't work. Okay? Like, the idea was that he says it, all the other black people say it, white people start saying it, and it just totally fucking loses its value. Well, it never lost its value because black people still get offended by the N-word to this day. Hell, white people are starting to get fucking offended by other white people who use the N-word all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? But at least when white people fucking make a mistake in the past, some of them are actually able to be willing to take accountability for their actions. Some others don't, but we'll get into that later. This shit, on the other hand, is domestic terrorism, mind you. Oh, Swill's a softie. Holy shit. I don't care. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old to fucking give a shit. But anyways, yeah, so like this is considered domestic terrorism. You know what I'm saying? Ninja, please. This is domestic terrorism. Back to what I'm trying to say. And so, like, when you are a terrorist in America, guess what? If you get caught doing terrorist things in America, you get a one-way fucking ticket to Cuba, a little island called Guantanamo Bay. So, to all of the people who have been fucking doing this shit, you're on camera. If not by a Tesla camera, then by somebody who fucking recorded you on their phone, because keep in mind, we're all on camera at all angles at all times of the fucking day. Don't you just love how the Patriot Act fucking works? You know what I'm saying? Calm down, Nichols. Too much cron. So when you deface somebody else's private property, specifically aimed towards Tesla, because Elon Musk is no longer on your fucking team anymore, you're going to get arrested. You're probably going to go to Gitmo. So you might as well fucking enjoy your cock meat sandwich. And speaking of cock meat sandwich, this is another one of those things that I wanted to talk about when it concerns fucking beef in the fucking world. So we are totally derailing from Juggalo culture here. All right, later, Bash. So if you don't know who the fuck this kid is, exactly. Speaking of cock meat sandwich, for the longest time, like, I was pretty sure that this kid was a fucking closet case, just because of look at him. Cause look at him. If you don't know who this kid is, his name is Harry Sisson. Harry Sisson is actually he's a TikTok influencer that follows a lot of the liberal side of political arguments. And by that, I mean that every single one of his fucking videos starts with breaking news, convicted felon Donald Trump. And then he rattles off into whatever the fuck it was that Trump did that hour. So that's all his fucking videos consist of. Look at this fucking face. Isn't it such a punchable fucking face? Like, I literally want to punch this fucking kid in the mouth. So bad. Look at that jaw. It is begging to be fucking punched. Because of all the fucking shit talk that he puts out there on fucking TikTok and possibly some other fucking shit. So if you're on TikTok, go ahead and take a look at this shit. You can literally click on his account, click the most recent video, and if you do this, you'll hear breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. That's all he fucking talks about. This is why I thought he was gay, because this dude on YouTube or on TikTok practically fucking gargled Joe Biden's hog while he was in office. And while Donald Trump was running for his presidential campaign, he was hate gargling Donald Trump's hog. Like he was hate fucking Donald Trump's dick with his fucking face. Theoretically, on TikTok. And he's doing it still to this day. However, there were two videos that he ended up posting recently that totally debunked my fucking theory that this dude was fucking, lighting the loafers. And that was the fact that he had this video where he was like laying on his bed and he had like this other hand fucking come up and was like caressing his face and shit. And I was like, hey, I think that's his friend fucking Dean Porter or whatever the fuck his friend's name is. Because he's got some friends that are also on TikTok that are also political influencers. Their names, I don't know their full names, but I know their first names. Dean, Parker, Chris, and then you got Harry Sisson. It's basically a fucking boy band of libtards. And so, like, I was like, hey, I bet you that's fucking Dean. Dean just put on some pink fucking nail polish and started caressing his face. It's nice to see that these boys are fucking together. Finally. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Y'all are liberals anyways, so it's very much accepting. I mean, it's 2025. If that actually even means anything. However, there was a second video where he actually he was sitting in a gamer's chair, the same chair that he usually sits in whenever he's doing his fucking lame-ass TikTok lives, trying to debate people and shit. And he had this other chick he had this chick sitting on his fucking lap with her face not facing the camera. So, I mean, personally, if I wanted a fucking chick, I would think, okay, look, I'm an influencer in some way, shape, or form on social media. I would prefer that you have zero problem with having your face on camera because I go on live a lot. Okay, so if there's any point in time where I'm doing a live and you just so happen to fucking fix me a sandwich, just expect the fact that the camera's going to be on and your face might be in it. So, like, it comes with the fucking territory. I'm a social media influencer on YouTube. You know, I am the fucking Vice clout god, I guess, because people keep on asking me about the other clout god all the fucking time. So, ship in or ship out. But this chick doesn't show her face at all. And I was like, okay, that debunks my shit. My theory that the dude's a fucking homo. So, we'll just move on with life. Okay, let's see what else is on here. Cat video, cat video, cat video. A couple of days later, I end up hearing about this fucking dude. Turns out that he fucking catfished like 11 chicks. Okay, including the chick that he's fucking with. Now, it's not the fact that he fucking does that, because I know everybody these days does that type of shit, where you're like, you have a fucking roster. Now, personally, I don't like the idea of having a big, massive roster, or even a little roster. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the idea of having a roster. If I'm dating somebody, I'm exclusively dating that person on day one until either we become a couple, or she kicks me to the fucking curb, or I get tired of her and then I move on to the next girl. Like, I do my shit slow. I don't like having this whole fucking roster idea. I even told my ex that when she tried to say, "Oh, I'm just thinking about having a roster," and I was like, I don't think that that's a good idea. Because then you get caught having this fucking roster, or you have these girls that are on a fucking Rolodex, or these guys that are on a fucking Rolodex, depending on what you're into. For him, it'd be like having all of these girls on fucking Rolodex. So if he doesn't have that fucking, if he has an issue with the girl that he's with, and he can just move on to the next or something like that. Like, he has these girls on fucking back order. And it's easy for him to do something like that because of the fact that he's a social media influencer. But it turned out, like, when he posted the picture of posted the video of him and his fucking girl, one of those other girls that was formerly on his roster fucking piped up. And it turned out that he was fishing this chick for fucking nudes. And then she ended up saying, then he started getting very distancy. Like, at the beginning of it, it's like I guess the honeymoon phase of the whole thing. And he was like very attentive to her. But then suddenly he starts being less attentive after he's already asked her for fucking nudes, and the DMs are getting pretty provocative and shit like that. So she starts to, she starts seeing a red flag there, and she ends up saying that she said to Harry that if that's the case, if you don't want to be with me and do all this stuff exclusively, then please just please unfollow my fucking nudes or whatever. And Harry was like, no, it ain't like that at all, blah, blah, blah. And he said whatever he could so that way he could keep the fucking nudes. So when he got caught with this fucking girl, this girl decided to fucking be petty and air out this fucking dirty laundry. And then somebody else in the same fucking comment section ended up saying that she got fucking catfish. So, like, turns out that there was about somewhere between 10 to 15 other girls other than the chick that he fucking hooked up with and was showing off on social media that he did all of this fucking to. Now, I understand being 21 and being fucking, like, fresh in the game, doing the social media influencer fucking thing and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand all that. But when you're fucking a social media influencer for a specific political party that's supposed to champion women and how, you're supposed to fucking, think about the women and all this other stuff and be pro fucking woman and all this other stuff. Hell, this dude even fucking tried to say always believe women when they say something is fucked up. So one day he goes live, and the chick that I'm fucking talking about, I can't remember what her name is, the one that first found out about what Harry Sisson was doing with all of these other girls and fucking baiting for nudes and all this other shit, she goes in on one of his lives and calls him out for that shit, and he fucking said she was crazy. She was a liar, and that she was crazy. Okay, so it's believe all women unless it has something to do with me. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily the OJ trial. The OJ trial was, him and Nicole were married for years, and then she cheated on him, so fucking OJ stabbed her and her fucking adulterer to death. And if the glove don't fit, then you must acquit. Harry Sisson, on the other hand, he's just a beta bitch trying to fucking cosplay as a fucking alpha. That's basically what this is. That's what this is. He's a beta cuck that is cosplaying as an alpha male. Because he has a fucking social media platform, he is easily able to fucking take advantage of it. And that is actually spun all across the fucking political spectrum on TikTok, because every major social media influencer that is pro-MAGA has actually found out about this shit and started talking massive amounts of shit. It's like I said, most of the people don't have a problem with the fact that he has a roster, but it's the fact that he didn't take accountability for his fucking actions. And for somebody who's supposed to fucking say believe all women and champion women because of his political beliefs, it's kind of ironic that at the same time he's also saying don't trust what she says, she's a fucking liar and she's crazy as fuck. Oh, okay, because you're the one that's getting caught out? If it was me, I would have been like, yeah, I did. What? Yeah, I got pictures of your fucking titties and vagina. And I might be either way, it's like, I'm gonna look like a fucking asshole regardless, but at least I might as well take fucking accountability for it. What up, Johnny P? I'm surprised that Johnny P's in here. I don't think I've ever fucking seen, I don't think I've ever seen Johnny P up in here. Welcome to the John. So that's one thing. And it's funny because, like, I guess his shit's fucking, I'm pretty sure that he's got ankle pics of this chick too. I mean, why not? Let me see how good your thigh gap is. Let me see your tapeworm. Some other shit too. I want to see that neck. What's that neck do? Oh, no chili, only glizzies. Glizzy gang here, fam. So yeah, fuck this dude. I'm glad to see the downfall of his fucking internet career. And by the way, he's fucking tanking. I will say that. Like, not just because of this, but just because of the fact that he won't shut the fuck up about Donald Trump and basically hate fucking Donald Trump in the mouth. All this type of shit. It's funny because now this is actually making it worse, and he's fucking tanking. Hell, one of his friends, Dean, as I mentioned before, also, this kid is who I'm talking about, Harry Sisson. His friend Dean also threw him under the bus, saying that he was heavily disappointed in Harry's actions. And I find it incredibly hilarious. And speaking of beta males trying to fucking be alpha, isn't it funny what Tim Walz is doing?
I think I could kick most of their. I do think that if they want to do it. I know I can outrun them, but I don't know if we're going to fall into that place where we want to. Okay, we challenge you to a WWE fight here type of thing.
Okay. Ooh, he went from tampon to tough guy. So did you hear what he fucking said? He was talking about he was talking to Gavin Newsom. Apparently Gavin Newsom is now trying to be a fucking social media influencer now. On top of fucking up the government, I guess he's going to try to fuck up Al Gore's internet by being a podcaster. That's one problem. Secondly, you got tough guy Tim here, taking the tampon out of his butthole, and he ends up fucking saying some dumb shit about how he thinks that he can kick most of the fucking MAGA people's asses. And he's like trying to say, oh yeah, I could probably do it in a WWE type of wrestling event or some dumb shit. I find this shit.
That was Minnesota Governor Tim Walz channeling his inner tough guy as Democrats try to garner more support from young men. One Republican telling Walz to bring on the smackdown. Republican Mayor Glenn Jacobs, better known as WWE Hall of Famer Kane.
That shit is fucking hilarious. The fact that he ended up calling out Republicans, right? He's like, I bet you I could probably kick everybody in the Republican Party's ass. And then all of a sudden, boom! Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Fucking Kane comes out and you hear fucking JR fucking saying, Hellfire Brimstone has been brought here to Madison Square Garden. Baga Kang. So, Tim Walz, you think you might have a fucking an even competition here?
Telling the former vice presidential candidate to put his money where his mouth is, challenging him to a charity wrestling match. Mayor Jake.
Okay, so Johnny P basically saying, in a sense, that the only way you can get AIDS is if you're gay.
Jacobs joins us now. Mayor Jacobs, so great to see you this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Boom!
So, are you trembling in your boots when you hear Tim Walz say that he could beat any Republican's tail?
Okay, so that question in and of itself just... Dude, you sound dorkier than I actually am. Okay? Like, does that make you shake in your boots when you hear Tim Walz say that he's threatening to kick your tail end? Oh my god. Bro. Okay, look. That was probably not the best way to ask that question.
Well, what Governor Walz said was completely inappropriate and it needed to be called out. Obviously,
so you can see the definite fucking difference between the two levels of testosterone in this shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, for being a guy on Fox who's like totally fucking like pro fucking red over here, you know what I'm saying? Like the two, like, and then you have the difference between this guy and fucking Kane over here. Whoa.
the Democrats realize that in catering to the far left wing of their party, they have created a masculinity problem for themselves, which shouldn't come as a surprise. After all, they've been
That look on his fucking face. Oh man, I wish I had a fucking alert here for a soundboard so that way with that fucking face right there, that totally goes wah 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 doo 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 doo. That's fucking hilarious.
the Democrats
Kane's looking old. I mean, dude, Kane's in a fucking suit. He looks as if he's fucking running for mayor. Like, it almost reminds me of that time in 1998 when The Undertaker threw Mankind off the Hell in the Cell, and he went through the Spanish announce table. Do you remember that?
realize that in catering to the far left wing of their party, they have created a masculinity problem for themselves, which
I
shouldn't
agree.
come as a surprise. After all, they've been preaching for years that there's no difference between men and women.
I mean, in all honesty, I have to agree with Kane on this one. Aha! His face is no different. Yeah, people pay attention to what Kane fucking says. And this is actually a good point that Kane fucking said. Like, there is a masculinity problem in the fucking liberal party. Because apparently they can't, they're equal to women. So, like, their testosterone level has gone down a little bit. You know, that's why I think in order to prove their masculinity rate, they have to fucking set fire to cars. You know, as a peaceful protest.
However, they believe that masculinity means that you get on TV and you talk tough and you drop the occasional curse word.
Yup.
And you go out and apparently being strong means that you burn down Tesla dealerships.
Fucking right. See, Kane knows what the fuck's up.
Right.
Which obviously that is not what being masculine or being tough is all about.
No, it's about fucking breaking your knuckles trying to fix a goddamn carburetor.
In fact, they just look like petulant, spoiled little brats.
Nice. So,
Gee, I've only been seeing that shit since like COVID. Actually, no, I should correct myself. I've been seeing that since fucking SJWs were formed in 2015. 10 years of this shit. I've been seeing the fucking testosterone levels of fucking men dropping. Nobody anymore is willing to fucking fix a carburetor and then fucking eat a sandwich with the oil still on their hands, holding the sandwich that their wife fucking made them.
So you're an actual
And it's like vegan peanut butter or whatever the fuck that is. I don't know.
big tough guy yourself. I'm assuming
Yeah.
you've probably never actually challenged to beat somebody up in your political career, for which we are all very grateful.
Like, that one's actually funny.
But if you were to advise Democrats on how they might try to sort of turn around their image with young men, where would they start?
You just need to be yourselves. You need to be sincere. You know, the reason that people love Donald Trump, the reason that he's been successful is that's what he is. They're trying to be Donald Trump, and they're not Donald Trump.
The point that he's trying to make, yeah, Donald Trump may be an asshole, but at least he's taking accountability for the fact that he is an asshole. He's not pretending to be a fucking character. There's no gimmick to Donald Trump. And that's why people are actually starting to gravitate towards him. It's always been that way. You can't fake being somebody that you're not and then expect people to appreciate you when you're real. That's just how it is.
So people see right through all of this stuff. You know, you're not an actor on TV. They want someone who actually represents themselves, is authentic, and you can't do that by trying to play a role of something that you're not.
Yeah, and so obviously, being a faker always comes out in politics.
Yeah, I mean, amongst other things like the Harry Sisson thing that I was just talking about.
But as you pointed out a minute ago, it is more than just sort of optics. There are real issues here. You point out that if you don't know the difference between a man and a woman, I mean, Joe Biden put a woman on the Supreme Court who could not define what a woman is.
Oh my God!
What are some of the other things that you think just kind of that causes young men to recoil from the Democrat message and run away?
Might have something to do with the smell of burning lithium.
Well, you have this term toxic masculinity. There's literally been an attack on men and really strong people. And I think that all comes from the left's philosophy that we want weak people who are dependent on government, who
that I've been saying for quite some time.
Look to everyone else to solve their problems instead of solving them themselves. So for me, it just means encouraging folks to be strong-minded and to be independent as much as possible.
I agree with that. I mean, like, I consider myself to be an independent. Like, if there's somebody who is in the Democratic Party that has good moral values and some things that I agree with politically, I would vote for them. I learned that mistake when I fucking decided to vote for Obama, though, because let's face it, I literally voted for him solely on the basis of his skin color. Because I felt like, yeah, I agreed that I feel like it's time to have a black president. And, you know, he got in. Great, grand, wonderful. And then after that, we went back to the fucking white dudes. And we also tried to have a white woman because apparently people were like, yeah, I think it's their time now. You know, because cultural appropriation. They're like, no, we need Donald Trump. We need a businessman. We need somebody who can actually take a look at this fucking deficit that our country has and figure out a way on how to spin it around. You know, start seeing a little bit more green, you know, some black ink on the fucking, you know, on the deficit rather than more red, you know, from year to year. And then, you know, that actually worked for 4 years because we actually had gas that was lower than $2 a gallon. Food was good. Housing was good. Jobs were up. Stock market was good. We had a lot of shit that went on that was pretty fucking dope. And then Biden came in with his fucking fake testosterone, cool grandpa look. And then turns out that he had fucking dementia the entire time. No wonder why people... It was basically like... I used to say this a few months ago. I ended up fucking saying that I felt like what might have been a good thing would have been like if you guys fucking, you know, if you liberal people out there really wanted to not talk about Donald Trump anymore, then you should have just let him have his second fucking term. And then by now, it would have been all the end of it. You know what I'm saying? However, you guys hated on Trump so fucking much that you were like, we gotta get him out of there. And you got Biden, and Biden fucked this country up. Meanwhile, you blamed Trump for everything Biden fucking did. And now Trump is back, so you got an extra 4 years to find out what to fucking bitch about when it concerns Trump. And because of everything that you're fucking doing, I wouldn't be surprised at this point if we don't see another Democrat in the highest office of the country for another 20 or 30 fucking years. And that's just me telling it like it is. That's me speaking what I believe to be true. And what I find funny about that is the Democratic Party is actually fucking scrambling to try to find somebody that can champion that goddamn political party. And who do they fucking go after? I guess Kamala Harris is not going to fucking come back. Like, she said that she wants to fucking come back, and that's not going to fucking happen. And then you've got Bernie Sanders and AOC.
Two big stars in the progressive left movement drew big crowds in Colorado today.
After hosting a rally at UNC in Greeley, Senator Bernie Sanders and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
She said her fucking name wrong. There's a C in Cortez. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Cortez. It sounds like a...
Moved on to Civic Center Park in Denver. And that's where we find 9 News reporter Rhea Jaw. Rhea, the crowd was certainly energized tonight.
Yeah, people started showing up 3 hours in advance. A line just to get in wrapped around.
Dude, like 3 hours? That's cute.
The entire block of Civic Center Park, and we spoke to people while they were showing up about why they came, and they said they were fed up with the current administration.
Fed up with the current administration that's only been going on for what, 63 days? 64 days? Something like, I don't know, like 60 some fucking days. You're fed up with 2 months of this administration, and you still got another 3 years and 10 months to go.
And that they needed to hear a message like this.
Oh God. Yeah, and so the political party decides to do what they did with Kamala Harris, where they're like, we'll have them as our leader now. Are we gonna vote on this? Isn't gonna be a fucking Democratic vote? No, that's not necessary. That makes too much fucking sense. Bernie, AOC, Bernie, it's your finally your time to feel the fucking burn, and we're putting this political fucking influencer along with you, AOC, because, she's a hot Mexican chick who's crazy as shit and has the same similar fucking socialist views as you do. At least she's not a Marxist like that Kamala chick, and at least neither one of you were fucking demented like the last guy that we had.
In front of this crowd, these two didn't need any introduction.
In the hundreds
Fight
of rallies
oligarchy
that I have done.
So their idea of fighting the oligarchy is basically Elon Musk and fucking whoever owns a goddamn successful website. But primarily they're focused on Elon Musk because honestly right now, Elon Musk is the hot ticket issue. He's the hottest fucking ticket issue. But they had him. Like, did they forget about that? No, they didn't. They didn't forget about the fact that they had Elon Musk in their back pocket. All right. They didn't forget that they had fucking what's his face? Zuckerberg. They had Mark Zuckerberg in their back fucking pocket. Okay, like they had all of the social media influence for 10 years. Before these people started to realize how fucking insane this political party has become. And I actually had to explain it to somebody before I continue watching this video. I'm going to fucking explain it to you like this. So think of it like, a magnet pull. Okay. So the left has been going farther and farther to the left towards like socialism, Marxism, communism. And so what we thought was the way that the fucking Republican Party was started going more towards the fucking center. That's kind of how it's become. So the Republican Party has now become more central than they were before, and that's because these idiots keep on fucking pushing the bar more and more to the fucking left. To where you have these dumb motherfuckers like the National Socialist fucking liberty movement, pretty much, and and at the same time, it's like their political party is worried about who's doing a fucking hand gesture. History's kind of repeating itself. But I find this to be incredibly funny that they finally decide, okay, is it Bernie's time now? Is Bernie going to be fucking running for president and he's going to fucking lead in that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it just makes no fucking sense. And then having AOC in that same shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, AOC, dude, she's like the political version of Anita Sarkeesian.
We have never, ever had a rally as large as this.
Really? That's adorable. I've seen fucking Madison Square Garden fucking sold out to watch Trump. This is cute.
Thousands of people flooded the Civic Center to see Independent Senator Bernie Sanders and Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, drawn by a sense of urgency, fear, and frustration.
Well, I don't understand why people are afraid. Like, afraid of what? What's going on in office right now? They're in fear of that? Like the people who are in the most fear usually are the ones who have the most to fucking hide. And so far, I haven't heard a single Republican in the House, the Senate, or anywhere that has really shown a whole lot of fucking fear about what Trump is fucking doing. It's all the Democrats that are fucking bitching the most and trying to create the most fucking issues. And also setting Teslas on fire and defacing private property and fucking destroying shit. Like, that's just what I've been seeing.
Well, the reason I'm here is I don't like the way this country is going right now.
Even before they spoke, the crowd knew what they were hoping to hear. Accountability for the issues they care about.
I'm actually a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and I have so many patients who have Medicaid or Medicare. I'm afraid for...
Oh God, this fucking chestnut. Like, they ended up fucking saying, they're trying to fucking say that Trump is gonna fucking take away money from Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and shit like that. Yeah, for anybody who's over the age of 125. Like, I'm sorry, Nancy Pelosi's not gonna be able to get Medicare and Medicaid and fucking Social Security because she's 367. But sorry, not sorry. Especially when she's worth like, what, $22 million? And if you notice the language that they use, they always fucking talk about fucking billionaires. It's all the billionaires. And the only billionaires that they're really opposing right now is Elon Musk and Donald Trump. What about all the millionaires that are in office because they ended up fucking doing a whole bunch of insider trading? Oh, and by the way, speaking of that, I was going to mention this when it concerned Tim Walz. Because Tim Walz ended up saying some shit about how he has the fucking stock trading app on his phone. He doesn't trade stock, but he likes to look at the Tesla stock trading to see as it plummets and shit, not realizing that a vast majority of like pensions and 401ks in the state of Minnesota that he governs has a lot of fucking interest in Tesla stock. So you're just like, blah, blah, blah.
The country.
On stage, AOC wasted no time challenging not only Republicans, but her own party.
And this isn't just about Republicans.
Yes, it is.
We need a Democratic Party that fights harder for us too.
Yeah, you need to have a fucking Democratic Party that actually has the capability of opposing the fucking Republicans. And so far, you haven't seen that type of shit. Basically, as at this point, you're trying to cosplay as a leading role for the fucking Democratic Party. And have you not realized, AOC, that you're you? Go back on TikTok and make fucking dancing videos and shit and choose your fighter, bitch.
Neither Sanders nor AOC spoke directly to Denver-specific issues like immigration enforcement in the city or the rising cost of living, instead focusing on national themes like raising the minimum wage and taking on billionaires.
Oh God, raising the minimum wage does nothing. Have we not realized this shit? Okay? Whether it's federally or state by state, raising the minimum wage does literally nothing. Have you not noticed that New York and California are the ones with the highest state minimum wage, but they're also the two states that have like the most expensive fucking shit? Has anybody not noticed that shit? Like why you're getting like $14.50 an hour minimum or $15 an hour minimum, but at the same time you're getting like $9 fucking cartons of eggs in one of those two states, or anything else that you buy is practically fucking expensive. Like, I don't know how much of fucking, I know for a fact that here in Michigan, like, a fucking quarter pounder meal is like $13. It was $13 in New York before fucking, Biden was in office. And so I can only imagine if it's like at most fucking $20 for a fucking quarter pounder meal at McDonald's in New York City. But like, have you not realized this? If you increase the fucking minimum wage, all you're gonna do is you're just gonna cause the price of other shit to fucking go up. And it just becomes a repetitious thing. No, what you need to do is you need to bring prices fucking down and put states at a fucking freeze, I think. That might be the most possible fucking thing. I mean, shit, I didn't get a raise at my job last summer. Instead, I ended up getting like a fucking merit bonus. And when I did the math between how much they gave me versus how much it would be if it was a raise, 9 cents. All right, they practically gave me 9 cents if I worked 40 hours Monday to Friday with no overtime for an entire year. 9 cents. And guess what happened? I've worked more overtime almost since then than I did the first year that I fucking worked. So it's even less than that. Probably like maybe a 4 or 5 cent raise altogether. And guess what? Prices continue to fucking go up. Mostly it's due to inflation because of whatever the fuck Biden did while he was in office. That actually is what goes on. And so I'm taking a look at this type of shit, like that is a useless fucking argument, because if you raise the price of the minimum wage up, everything else is going to fucking go up. I don't give a shit what you try to tell me.
We will not allow America to become an oligarchy.
Okay, like I've been hearing that fucking word. I'm going to look this up. Okay, so synonyms of oligarchy. No, I don't want the thesaurus. What the fuck, internet? Come on. No, I don't want a thesaurus. I want the definition. Okay, so okay, so according to Merriam-Webster, it says government by the few. A government which is a small group of exercises control specifically for corrupt and selfish purposes. A group exercising such control, an organization under oligarchic control. So basically what they're trying to say is that with the few running the country would be the ones that fucking like are basically the ones doing the corrupt. But the funny thing is, like, there's so many fucking people that work in government right now that shouldn't be working in government. Basically, they're just dumbing it down. Okay, so I don't understand how that's going to be fucking corrupt. Like, that to me makes no sense. So you're toning it down, and they consider it to be corruption and oligarchic, just because of the fact that there's too many fucking people that are running in this system. And corruption has already run rampant. That's the thing that they're not facing. That's the problem that they're not facing, is the fact that there's already too much shit that is corrupt in our politics, in our offices. So how in the fuck something's going on? What the fuck is going on with my camera? I swear to God, I'm pretty sure it's the government trying to shut me down. All right, you can't stop me. I fixed the problem. But anyways, yeah, so like they're trying to say, oh, like this oligarchic blah, 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 the fuck. And like, no, bro, like, sorry, but at the same time, I see the Democratic Party as wanting everything run by government. How much money you make, what kind of food stamps you get, Section 8, and if you're not qualified for any of these things, you're practically fucking homeless. Like, that's the stuff that I've been seeing on their side of things. You know, there was a guy that I work with that ended up telling me that he believes in communism, and he believes that the whole idea behind communism could actually work if there was nothing up with human greed and corruption. And maybe he's right. But it turns out that human greed and corruption is exactly what is part of our fucking nature. A lot of us are greedy. A lot of us are fucking corrupt. A lot of us have our hands in cookie jars. And while their hands are in the cookie jars, we're telling the people who catch us that we don't have a fucking hand in the cookie jar. And that's what's going on in government. That's what fucking Donald Trump and Elon Musk and Tulsi Gabbard and Tom Homan and all of these other people that are working in government that have their names out there right now are actually fucking doing. They're toning it down. Yeah, they're trimming the fat, but they're also pointing out the fucking corruption that's going on in our government system. You're trying to fucking say that by toning it down, that's the corruption in and of itself. Like, you have too many fucking people that are running in this government that don't need to be in it. And like I said before, from what I'm seeing is that the people who are running it right now, the corruption is thick. The corruption runs deep. And what Donald Trump said that he was going to do in his first term, he's doing right now. Fuck the price of eggs. I'd rather have fucking Donald Trump draining the swamp like he said he was going to. So as far as I'm concerned, fuck it. And do you really think that Bernie Sanders and AOC are going to be able to fucking take care of this shit? Take a look at how old Bernie is right now. Do you really think he's in any shape right now to actually be fucking talking politics to try to run for president in 4 years? Is he even going to be alive in 4 years? Like, he's going to be feeling the burn when they fucking cremate his dead ashes within that time. And if he does fucking make it, do you really think that he's going to be able to fucking be in there long enough to fucking run, let alone be president for 4 years until 2032? If he wins? Hell no. He's probably not going to last very long, and then AOC will be in there, and she'll be like the first female Mexican president in America. So she'll champion 2 fucking things and have no idea what to do. At least that's what I'm seeing. And the beef in politics actually runs thick because everybody's fucking going up against Donald Trump. And thank you for everybody who came in here and flooded my fucking chat and, you know, gave me a whole bunch of views to listen to me talk about politics, even though I bored the fucking piss out of you. You guys kind of fucking made my point. There is beef within politics. And I wish that you guys were willing to stick around for this next thing, because the last thing actually goes back into beef, and it's about the fucking juggalo politics, because apparently somebody in our fucking group who claims to be an ambassador absolutely bit the fucking bed, having to talk some shit about some ninja just because of the mustache that he has. Well, the dude with the mustache ended up having a fucking response. And it's in the form of a fucking music video.
I have this whole thing about a juggalo with a Hitler mustache that I don't think is worth going into, but here's the thing. Here's a juggalo with a Hitler mustache who's going around to shows and stuff.
Yeah, so if you didn't guess, it's Humble Among that I was fucking talking about. Now this guy, Mr. Eve, so apparently Humble Among has a problem with the fact that this dude has facial hair, a specific facial hair, forgetting that this, listen, you know what I find interesting is that a while ago, my homie Connor came up on here and he said idiocracy has become real. You know what I find funny about that? The fact that at the very beginning of this fucking clip, Humble Among says some shit about him having a Hitler mustache, right? Now, did you watch the end of Idiocracy when they go through the time machine and it ends up being a historical fucking ride? And so much information was fucking put out there very wrong when they said something like how Charlie Chaplin ran the fucking Nazis, you know, because both of them, both Charlie Chaplin and Adolf Hitler, were around during the exact same time and they had the exact same fucking mustache. Sorry, not sorry, but that was during a time where that kind of mustache was practically fucking popular. That mustache style was actually popular. It wasn't all just fucking handlebars or sideburns like it was in the 1800s. You know, like fashion was different during the 30s and the 40s. So having that mustache doesn't necessarily mean 100% that you're all about Adolf Hitler or Nazis. It's just a fucking mustache. You guys are, you know, like people who hate on this dude, Mr. Eve, over the fact that he has this kind of a fucking mustache are the same kind of people that used to make fun of Cody Rhodes for having a fucking caterpillar on his upper lip. Because nobody had ever seen Cody Rhodes with a mustache. And guess what? He kept the mustache just to keep the kayfabe. So I'm sure that Mr. Eve is going to do the exact same thing. Who gives a fuck about what kind of mustache he has? Apparently Humble Among does, and he associates that with Nazism. Remember what I said about the people who are fucking keying Cybertrucks? People who see Nazi shit are going to find Nazi shit. You know what that means? It means Nazi shit is living in your head rent-free. You're going out of your way to associate him with Nazism and Adolf Hitler just based off of the fucking mustache that he has. And I found that to be incredibly hilarious. Along with a lot of the people that were commenting about his fucking music video. Now, personally, I think that this dude has a funny look, and I think it works out for him.
I don't think it's worth going into, but here's the thing.
Like, the facial expressions that he's showing on this is fucking hilarious.
Here's a juggalo with a Hitler mustache who's going around to shows and stuff.
Okay, so I'm wondering, what is the name of the fucking mustache style that Hitler had? Okay, so here's what it is. It's called a toothbrush mustache. And according to Wikipedia, okay, the toothbrush mustache is a style of mustache in which the sides are vertical or nearly so, often approximating the width of the nose and virtually resembling the bristles of a toothbrush. First becoming popular in the United States in the late 19th century, it spread to Germany and elsewhere. Comedians such as Charlie Chaplin and Oliver Hardy popularized it, reaching its heyday during the interwar years. By the end of World War II, the association with Nazi leader Adolf Hitler made it unfashionable, leading to it being colloquially termed the Hitler mustache. Who popularized it originally? How long was it around? About 50, maybe 100 years, something like that. So Humble, he doesn't know his history, or he's willing to look into it. And on top of that, like there's and by the way, I also want to fucking point this out. This isn't the only person that he fucking goes after as being a juggalo ambassador. He basically is doing the same shit, by the way, that I used to do 10 fucking years ago. or even longer than that. Michael Jordan had that mustache. Michael Jordan must be Hitler. Okay? It's not Donald Trump like everybody wants it to be, because Donald Trump doesn't have a mustache. I don't ever think he did. It's Michael Jordan. Okay? Because Michael Jordan would probably be the farthest away from being Jewish as, you know, like, and that's how Adolf Hitler wanted it. So he's like, I'm going to be a tall black basketball player with a Hitler mustache and fucking be a success. I'm going to take over the world in that fashion. I'm going to take over the NBA when I come back. The fact is like the dude, yeah, he made a Hanes commercial with it. Nice. Are you sure that was actually a mustache and not a fucking skid mark? Like, okay, so the toothbrush originally became popular in the late 19th century in the United States. It was neat, uniform, low-maintenance mustache that echoed the standardization and uniformity brought by the industrialization, in contrast to the more flamboyant styles of the typical 19th century, such as the imperial, the walrus, the handlebar, the mushroom, or not the mushroom, the horseshoe, and pencil mustaches. Okay, so Charlie Chaplin, there's even, like, yeah, Oliver Hardy from the Laurel and Hardy. Who's on first? He had a fucking toothbrush mustache. Like, the only reason why it's called a Hitler mustache is because Hitler is the most infamous fucking person ever to be around during the 20th century, because he started he participated, if not started, 2 world wars. And he had the mustache the entire fucking time. Like, I could only imagine what would have happened if instead he was like, I'm going to try something incredibly more radical. I'm going to have a fucking goatee. Dude, the goatee was, like, popular in the 2000s and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it matters. It matters what fucking type of facial hair you have. Just because somebody doesn't wear it as much anymore because of what happened, you know, I guess that makes sense a little bit. Hitler actually used to have a full-on handlebar mustache. What if he was clean shaven? You know, what if Hitler never had the fucking mustache? Okay? Humble Among also has no facial hair. So would that make him a Nazi if Hitler never had facial hair, like, ever? There was never a picture of Adolf Hitler with fucking no handlebar or no toothbrush mustache? Could you only imagine? All babies that were born without facial hair are Nazis, according to Humble Among, you know? But apparently Mr. Eve is not the only problem that he has, because I guess there was like more to this audio clip that was inserted into this song. He had this whole full-blown conversation, I guess. Or maybe there's part of it. Maybe the part I'm thinking of might be in this fucking clip. I don't know. But we're going to watch this. If this will play.
Apparently a performer, too, from what I understand.
Yep. Yeah, actually, he opened up for Clockwork E during their Anubis release party.
Oh, yeah, fuck Nazis. Fuck that little mustache. I don't know.
Like, how do you say that and you're like, I don't know? Yeah, you know why you say I don't know? Because you don't know the history of that mustache. Nevertheless, did you decide to actually look it up? See, this is the difference between, I think, people who are Republican and people who are Democrat, is that we read more than just the fucking headline. We'll actually go in and educate ourselves on some fucking shit. If we're confused about something, we're not going to just jump to a conclusion and be like, oh, he has a mustache that's similar to Hitler, so he must like Hitler. That makes no fucking sense. Especially since, I don't know, he's a fucking juggalo.
How is that, like, cool?
Oh, because you don't like it. It automatically makes it cool now.
Welcome to the Juggalo Holocaust. Y'all
I love that.
Molotov. Drop 'em, pick 'em up, holla.
I love his flow, though. Like the way he presents himself, the vocality. I like how he does this because to me, he's in that fucking group with like Clockwork E and fucking Flapjack Wilson, where they don't really take themselves seriously. I mean, who the fuck else is gonna rap about, other than the Silver Booth Boys, who the fuck is gonna rap about fucking getting their dick cut off with a Temu sex toy? Which I've been seeing that being fucking plugged left and right on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, fucking TikTok. Like, little clips and pieces of a video for Temu sex toy have been put all over the fucking social medias, and it's hilarious. Cut the motherfucking ambulance and the hug up because I cut my dick off with a Temu sex toy. It's fucking hilarious. Watching Kyle run around with a fake dick in his hand. And I'm assuming that the beef is fucking real. But yeah, like, also, like, at the very beginning, like, of this verse, which I believe is the second verse of the fucking song that he decided to do this with, and he ended up saying, "Welcome to the Juggalo Holocaust." Now, if that's not a fucking OG YouTube throwback, and on top of that, he's saying that because of the fact that he's got that goddamn mustache, and it pisses off Humble. I love that.
So, yeah, fuck Nazis. Fuck that little mustache. I don't know.
Like, I'll agree with one thing that he said so far, Humble that is fuck Nazis. Okay? Fuck Nazis, and that's coming from a guy who's a quarter German.
How is that, like, cool?
Welcome to the Juggalo Holocaust. Y'all are soft. Toss a Molotov. Drop 'em, pick 'em up. Holla pop. Motherfucker so full of poppycock. Y'all the ops. Lick it like a lollipop. Take a loss. Call the cops. Welcome to the Third Reich and Roll. You would...
Welcome to the Third Reich and Roll. I can laugh at this because it's funny. And I have a sense of humor.
Suck and roll, pucker up, get your soul, fist fucked by a troll.
The lyrics on this, dude, you can tell he's not taking it seriously and that it's just a joke to him. But it's so fucking hilarious, dude. He's tearing Humble apart with this. Because he was bitching.
Knuckle up, buttercup, suckers get roughed up in the muck, curled up, clutch your little nuts fuck. Welcome to the prison camp, champ, do the chicken dance.
Also, did you notice he's wearing a fucking Nodus hat at the same time? Dude, this is fucking hilarious. When you fucking break it down, it's fucking hilarious to me.
Soul fist fucked by a troll. Knuckle up, buttercup, suckers get roughed up in the muck, curled up, clutch your little nuts fuck. Welcome to the prison camp, champ, do the chicken dance.
Prison camp. He made an Auschwitz joke.
Swiffer at the Hitler man's hands. Watch your piss your pants. You ain't no ninja fan. Damn, you a cringy man.
Oh, damn. Oh, dude, there's so much to unpack in this fucking shit. Like, this dude fucking... You didn't fucking put a whole lot of effort into this, and it's just fucking hit after hit. It's banger after banger after banger with this shit. It's fucking great.
You just a ditty more ham and it didn't can. Welcome to your World War II. I adore you.
Oh! Oh! Ooh! Ow! Oh! Oh my god. Ooh! Ooh! That hurt. That hurt my fucking face. You know that muscle down here, the mandible? Oh, I just pulled it. Oh. Oh. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, that hurts. Oh, man. I just hurt myself doing that shit.
Man, you just a ditty more ham and it didn't can. Welcome to your World War II. I adore Jews. I deplore you like a Muslim do pork stew.
Dude, the way that he's fucking rapping this shit works so fucking well with this diss.
Normally, I ignore prudes, but I'm forced to corkscrew your neck and play horseshoe.
Ooh.
Keep talking shit.
What the fuck? Okay, hold on a second. I need to take a look at those toys.
Shoe.
Okay, yeah, so he's got... What is that? Hello Kitty and Ed Wachowski. Yeah, dude, that fucking bar, I adored you, but I don't adore you. Like, dude, that as simplistic as it is, it's fucking hilarious. But like, remember how he starts it off? He's like, "Welcome to the World War II. I adore Jews, but I don't adore you." Like, dude, that fucking man, I have never heard a fucking style like this before. Like the way that he's fucking doing his rhymes, I have never heard this fucking style. Like I thought I had a unique style, but like this is the shit. I adored you. Me too, actually. I'll be honest with you. So do I. That's why. That's why. Like I'm fucking. Like I'm fucking saddened by this pro-Israel, pro-Palestine shit that goes on in the fucking real world. But anyways, yeah.
Talking shit, bitch, we've had it with you. Fuck
I know what that's supposed to be. Like that's supposed to be him. That's supposed to be Humble and his fucking woman. I'm assuming because of the green and the pink. Which reminds me, like there was a thing that I saw on Twitter the other day, and I think it was from DC Fago guy, and he's like, in the Juggalo world, what is pink and green and not necessarily accepted in our community? And of course, the answer is the Yum Yum Bedlam, because apparently not very many people in our community really like that album. But I was like, fake Jugga Prophets. Yeah, that was my answer. False Jugga Prophets. Because I'm pretty sure that that's how dude fucking pictures himself. Remember when I got back from DCG Con and Juggalo Weekend, and I was talking about somebody that I saw in the VIP section that kind of was like looking down at people. It was kind of just like them just, standing upright. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can back far enough. They were basically just like on the, in front of their VIP section, and they looked like they were looking down at them, as if to say, mozzarella sticks are for poor people. You know what I'm saying? That was Humble. Like, and I was standing probably about maybe 10, 15 feet in front of him, and I could turn around with my bombastic side eye. I was able to see him in my peripheral vision, and I could see the look on his face. I don't think he was high or drunk or zonked the fuck out in any way, shape, or form. I literally felt like that he was looking down at the entire crowd, being like, I can afford these VIP seats. Look at this fucking coat that my girl's wearing. It's all fucking pink and fluffy and feathery and shit. I'm better than all of you. Like, he had that air about him, as if to say, I'm the self-proclaimed ambassador of the fucking Juggalo community because I have 4,500 fucking subscribers. As if that means anything. Now, at the same time that all of this is fucking going on, apparently, I don't know if there's like more to this or not.
Keep talking shit, bitch, we've had it with
I adored you. I can't get over that.
Fuck Humble.
Okay, so there wasn't more to that fucking conversation because I thought that there was. However, there was something that was talked about, and I believe it's on, I believe you can go on Fuck Your Feelings, and there's a conversation that's going on with Humble and a couple of other fucking people. And Humble is talking about the fact that Mr. Eve opened up for fucking Clockwork E. And so I guess for Clockwork E, he's like, that hurts me because I've been supporting those boys this whole fucking time. So what? Now you've got fucking issues with Clockwork E because they fuck with Mr. Eve? Kind of like how you fucking you can't fuck with Bash because they fucked, because he was friends with fucking Plague and Toxic once upon a time. Kind of how like you can't fuck with me because I fuck with Bash. Or you can't fuck with me because of stuff that you heard about me. That happened 13 years ago, as if I'm the same person that I was 13 years ago. I'm sorry, but there's something called accountability. And I've taken that for the mistakes that I fucking made 13 years ago. But you want to throw it in my face as if it was recent. That's why I don't fuck with Humble. I don't fuck with Humble because I feel like he's a fucking fake. That motherfucker admitted that he dropped the hatchet and then he disappeared only to come back in 2019, like 10 years later, after he fucking dropped the hatchet. And he was sucking everybody's fucking dicks. He wasn't part of this shit when I was starting my YouTube Juggalo fucking tenure. He came in because he came up out of nowhere just due to the fact that fucking Toxic Plague Entertainment was jumping on the rise, and he jumped on that fucking bandwagon. And when he started seeing some problems that happened with him within TPE, that's when he fucking went on the attack. And then now all of a sudden he's a fucking Juggalo ambassador? Now, because of the things that he said about me, publicly, by the way, I don't fuck with him. I try not to talk about him on my show. I try not to fucking talk with him during any kind of public discourse. However, I will say this. I warned Clockwork E. I talked to Billy of Clockwork E when I was in Cleveland. I went to his show and I fucking I was there for a little while and I ended up talking to Billy and I warned him about Humble Among, about how he's a fucking turncoat and that he'll actually fucking stab you in the back. He'll look for a reason to fucking stab you in the back. I didn't say it exactly like that, but what I did tell him was that I have a problem with Humble. This is why. I don't have a problem if you have a problem with, I don't have a problem if you have no problem with him, but I will say, side-eye, boombastic side-eye, keep him in your fucking, keep your head on swivel when you're around him. And so he basically's like, oh, it hurts so much that Clockwork E had this guy with the fucking toothbrush Hitler mustache open up for them at their fucking Anubis party. It hurts you that someone else is doing something with someone else that isn't involved with you in any way, shape, or form. Clockwork E's decisions to have Mr. Eve and Flapjack Wilson and whoever else, Jump Shot, and whoever else was there at the Anubis party, but not you. Why is it that what they eat makes you shit? I don't give a fuck about what his connections are. He makes a big braggadocious fucking bullshit thing about the fact that he has Violent J's fucking phone number. So the fuck what? I have Rob's phone number. I don't fucking call him being like, hey, what's up on blah, blah, blah. I don't ask Rob for any fucking insight on Juggalo news. I don't get any insight on anything. I only have Rob's phone number for one reason. Can I do a video game event at DCG Con? And I'll wait for him to call me. That's the only reason why I have Rob Bruce on my phone. So that way when he calls me, I know it's Rob fucking Bruce. I don't try to fucking get any ins on what's going on in the inner workings of fucking Psychopathic. And this is basically a warning going out for everybody. That's the way I look at it. And that's the thing. The funny thing is, there's a whole bunch of this shit that goes on with the phrase clout chasing, okay? Yeah, there are clout chasers, and I definitely believe that he's one of them. And then there's people like myself who don't chase that shit. I earned my clout. And the reason why I say that is because of the fact of how long I've been in this fucking shit. I'm more humble than humble. And I say that humbly. When you guys see me in real life, I'm kind of standoffish. Anxiety kicks in a little bit when I've had people fucking telling me the shit that I do is so entertaining for them. They've been watching me for X amount of years. I'm very fucking, I'm very fucking skittish with it. I'm like, fucking, you know what I'm saying? I just give them the thank you. I appreciate it and all this other stuff. I don't know what to fucking say. Unless we're talking about something that I fucking said on my show. And yeah, like you said, when he had VIP sitting above looking down on everybody. That meme from fucking Twilight New Moon, where it shows the Volturi in that fucking flashback scene, and it shows what's his face fucking standing above the fucking group of all of the other vampires in the Volturi, looking down at them. That's what Humble Among looked like. Now, don't get me wrong, like, there are people who clout chase, and then there's people who fucking earn the clout. Okay? And as the old saying goes, I don't chase, I attract. I attract my fucking clout. But it's at the same time, it's like, okay, clout really don't mean anything at the end of the fucking day. I mean, other than the fact that I'm clout god adjacent. You guys know who I'm talking about when I mention the clout god. Which, by the way, that was something that he said ironically. So the people who fucking hate on him, it's like, you know, I know that there are some people in my friend circle who hate on my homie CPN because of things that he's said or things that he's done, and, you know, or what they think of him or what they think he's said or fucking done and shit like that. And I have no problem with that. I'm not the type of person that fucking says I don't fuck with people who fuck with people I don't fuck with. Okay, because then you go down the line, eventually you're gonna have nobody to fucking have to be cool with. Because guess what? If you don't fuck with people who fuck with me, because I fuck with Bash, because once upon a time both of us fucking we both once upon a time fucked with TPE at one point, which he did too, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have a problem because I have a lot of people who I'm friends with. I've been friends with, you know, like, I've formed a friendship with the boys at Clockwork E. I formed a friendship with Wicked Wood. I've formed friendship, and like, I've been friends with Jess Jekyll for over a decade. You know, there are people that I'm pretty sure that Humble Among would be surprised that I'm friends with. And if he don't want to fuck with people who fuck with me, he's going to have very little fucking friends at some given point in time. And all I see him as is a fucking clout chaser. And why certain people, like, what's that new channel? Wicked Widget? Watch your six, kid. Because this is gonna fucking happen. He's gonna find some little breadcrumb of indiscriminate bullshit that you fucking did once upon a time, and he's gonna fucking throw it in your face. Why would he say all that stuff publicly? Just for a buzz? Probably just to fucking get his dick hard enough. You know, but like, the reality of it is, like, this motherfucker, like, I'm sorry, but I don't understand the concept of what he thinks he's going to accomplish trying to fucking be in VIP sucking off Violent J while his girlfriend's getting fucking tag teamed by Cheesegate in a Super 8 motel. I don't know what he thinks makes him so fucking great. And why he thinks that he has the capability to fucking look down on people. And I say that truthfully and honestly, I think that's how it is. On the surface, on public side of things, he will try to fucking make it seem like, oh, I'm not like that, I'm literally humble. No, dude, you're fucking arrogant. See, like, the difference between me and him, though, is that I'll fucking make a mistake, I'll take accountability for my actions. I don't try to fucking delete a tweet when I fucking tried to call Chance the Rapper an N-word. You know, during that time where his hatchet was dropped before he picked it back up. The motherfucker called you a chomo. If I ever see him, he will be lucky if I don't knock his fucking teeth out. You gathering, fam? I mean, so far, like, there's so many fucking beefs that have gone on. And like I said before, you know, it has something to do with Retro Gatorade or whatever the fuck it was. You know, like, that happened for the last couple of weeks. Shit's been fucked up hospital. Oh, your broken back? Dude, I have a bad back myself. I mean, I'm 42 now, so, like, my back is kind of fucked. But it also has something to do with the fact that I'm a little overweight. At least right now. I could probably get into gathering shape by the gathering. That's just me, though. But yeah, it seems like, okay, he's got problems with a whole bunch of people now. And I've been seeing it all over fucking Twitter. Like, Not just me, not just fucking Bash. Now it's Mr. Eve. Now it's Clockwork E. Deck 1 Delt seems to have a fucking issue with him as well. Yeah, I'm 42. I don't know what the fucking order is, but I'm going to have to look this up. I can probably look this up on Twitter real quick. Okay. So, yeah, because this came from Just Chris from Deck 1 Delt on X. Humble Among versus Bash. Humble Among versus Tier Diaz. Humble Among versus Alazul Elu. Humble Among versus LLE. Humble Among versus the Deck 1 Delt Show. Humble Among versus the Thuggalo Show. Humble Among versus Mr. Eve. Humble Among versus Clockwork E. Humble Among versus Swills Edition. You guys seeing the pattern here? Yeah, Sicko, we've known each other for a few years, yeah. But yeah, have you noticed the pattern here? Ambassador, fam. He is the unofficial ambassador of the fucking Juggalo community, and he has all these beefs. And what I replied to that, might as well have Humble Among versus Crazy McCormick on there as well. Now, granted, I don't attack him publicly. Usually I just fucking ignore him. But since there's a whole list of a whole bunch of people that fucking come out and talk about this dude, I might as well fucking put it on here and put this shit to bed. You know, I want to put it out there. So anybody who's watching this lurking in the fucking chat, watch your back. You're going to have to step on eggshells around this motherfucker because you do one little thing that he doesn't like and it's World War III. Okay? Maybe World War IV, depending on the time. You know, because I don't know what's going on the other side of the fucking country with Russia and Ukraine right now. I guess there's a 30-day ceasefire. Nevertheless, keep your head on swivel when you're around old Greg. I don't stand with Ukraine, dude. I stand with peace. All right, that's what I stand with personally. As I've made a fucking 20-30 minute tirade about a guy on YouTube that seems to have a problem with everybody. And by the way, speaking of the last thing I want to say, Humble, this goes out to you. You remember when you started fucking going after Bash because of his association with TPE? And I told you that this is not the route that you want to fucking take, and it might be a good idea to stop what you're fucking doing. Otherwise, it's going to get worse for you. I've been in this game long enough to see this path. I have gone down it many times on both sides of the fucking lane. On both lanes, I have gone down this path since I started doing stuff on YouTube in 2008. You wouldn't know that because you didn't even know who the fuck any of us were until you decided to pick up the hatchet when you started hearing noise coming from the Juggalo community in 2019 with Toxic Plague Entertainment. And you want to come up to me and try to say that you've been watching me for fucking years? What, while you were fucking dropping the hatchet? And instead, what did you do? You started to attack me because I'm cool with Bash. And now look, you ignored my fucking advice and you continued to do the shit that you were fucking doing. You could have just gotten over the whole situation with Bash. You know, if you fucking became an adult and grew up, you wouldn't be fucking with you wouldn't have problems with all of these fucking people. Bash, Tier Diaz, Zool, everybody on LLE, Deck 1 Delt, The Thuggalo Show, Mr. Eve, Clockwork E, Swill, myself, and God knows who the fuck else. It's kind of fucking weird to me For somebody who loves the Juggalo, who claims that they love the Juggalo community so much, seems to want to fucking punch so much fucking beef into his jug card. Don't you know he performed at the gathering? His jug clearance is higher than ours. Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, he did what? A third stage 1 year and every other year since like 2019, 2021, something like that. He's been doing fucking scrub stages. Like ever since. And prior to that, like, what was he doing? Nothing. I saw him fucking do a different festival, and the people and his style of music was not what that festival was looking for, and so they fucking pulled the plug on him, and he cried like a bitch because they pulled the fucking plug out from under him. Yeah, he got lucky. I've done 2 fucking DCG cons. I don't usually try to fucking brag about it. I love the fact that I fucking did it, and I'm grateful for the fact that I was there for it. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, that makes me a fucking clout god. You know? That's just, I don't really think I have anything else to say. Except for this. You should have adhered my fucking advice from the jump when I told you to stop going after Bash. I told you to not go down this route. As a matter of fact, what's funny to me is like the information that he got off of me was because of fucking something that happened with Child's Play Ninja. While Child's Play Ninja was in jail and the Bender Boys and the Outcast Owls ended up fucking going ham on all of the information that they could find about people that CPN had formerly associated with in the past. An ex-girlfriend that had something to do with both me and CPN. You know, because me and CPN are pretty much fucking snow brothers. And he heard her fucking say some bullshit ass lie about the fact that she thought that me and him ended up trying to get even with her, breaking up with CPN by convincing her to fuck me at the gathering in 2012. You know what I'm saying? Which didn't happen. She and I got to fucking talking. I caught fucking feels and acted like a dumbass. I lost my friendship with CPN for 3 years because of that shit. Because of me being stupid. I had people fucking telling me what I did was stupid and fucked up. And I realized what I did was stupid and fucked up. And I promised I was never going to fucking do that shit again. And guess what? I got my friendship with CPN back. Because I took accountability for my actions. Instead of trying to fucking double down, I would have lost all my friendships. I wouldn't be as known on fucking YouTube as I am now if it wasn't for me taking the accountability. I may have been an asshole and I have maybe done some fucked up shit, but at least I'll admit to my faults and I'll actually admit that what I did was wrong and I'll try to take accountability for that shit. I'll try to atone for my fucking actions. And this is something that happened in 2012. He tried throwing this in my face 2 years ago while the shit was going down while CPN was in jail. He tried to throw that in my face because I was begging him to stop the bullshit attacking Bash and all of these other people that are associated with him. Instead of fucking understanding exactly what it was that I was talking about, he decided to double down. Now look. Now look at what he's got to go through. I told him, you're going down the fucking Bender route. And that's exactly what he did. So I guess this is the last time that I'm going to fucking tell you. Stop doing your fuck shit. Take accountability for some of the dumb shit that you've done in the past. Make amends and fucking atone for the things that have happened. Don't act like you're innocent. You're not a fucking god. Or continue to do what you're doing, ignore me completely, and see how many other beasts that we'll be able to fucking make count of. Courtesy of Just a Juggalo. Alright, with that being said, I'm getting up out of here. I want to thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for coming in here watching my shit. You apologized to the Joker last night? Okay. But, dude, at the same time, it's the fucking Joker, alright? You have just as much fucking reliance on that dude as you do Skits Craven. Like, sometimes you just have to know when to completely cut somebody off. And as of this point, like, I've pretty much just closed the book on the dude. I personally don't care how fucking popular he gets. I just wish that he would take that accountability. And you know, like, despite what I've said just now, I do wish him the best of luck in the future and all of his future endeavors. And with that being said, I'm out of here. I'm probably going to go on Twitch and play some fucking Nintendo. Thanks, guys, for being here, watching, and participating up in the chat. And anybody, I think the one guy, Justin Kemple, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, ninjas. I'm out this bitch, y'all. Take what I just said with what you will. I'm out. Deuces.